When you think of New York City, images of towering skyscrapers, bustling streets, and endless opportunities come to mind. Beneath the glittering lights and Broadway shows lies a darker, grittier side that few dare to talk about. So buckle up, because today we're uncovering the hidden struggles and challenges of life in the Big Apple. Let's be honest, folks, you can't talk about New York City without addressing the landlord. The landlord is an omnipresent figure in the lives of New Yorkers, often dictating the terms of their existence. From the moment you sign that lease agreement, you're locked into a relationship that can feel as binding as a marriage, but without the love. In the impossibly small studio apartment, every square inch counts. You learn to live with less, to make do with what little space you have. It's a constant battle to find room for your belongings, let alone yourself. With average rents exceeding $4,000 a month in Manhattan, finding a decent place to live feels like winning a very expensive lottery. The competition is fierce and the stakes are high. You're not just competing with other renters, you're up against the entire economic system. Brooklyn, Queens, even parts of the Bronx are catching up. These boroughs, once considered more affordable alternatives, are now experiencing their own rent hikes. The ripple effect of Manhattan's sky-high rents is felt far and wide. It's like a game of gentrification whack-a-mole, but instead of a prize, you get priced out of your own neighborhood. New developments spring up, old buildings are torn down, and longtime residents find themselves pushed to the margins. This housing crisis has led to skyrocketing homelessness rates. The streets of New York are filled with people who have been left behind by the relentless march of progress. Shelters are overflowing, and the city is struggling to keep up with the demand for affordable housing. So yes, New York City is a place where dreams are made, but it's also a place where those dreams are often deferred because you're too busy working 3 jobs to pay rent for an apartment the size of a walk-in closet. The hustle never stops and the rent never sleeps. New York City, 8.5 million people crammed onto a tiny island, and boy, does it feel like it. Imagine this, you're late for work, packed into a subway car like a sardine, and the guy next to you is clipping his fingernails. The city's relentless overcrowding creates a special kind of stress cocktail. We're constantly bombarded with stimuli, forced to navigate crowds like we're in a real-life game of Frogger. Construction noise, subway screeching, a marching band playing New York, New York at 3 a.m., just another Tuesday night. Chapter 3. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room that's holding a slightly used Metro card. New York City, often compared to Gotham, has its own unique charm and challenges, and may or may not have just thrown a garbage can at a rat. Safety. It's a word that carries a lot of weight in this city. Look, New York City has come a long way since the bad old days of the 70s and 80s. Back then, the city was almost synonymous with crime and decay, but certain neighborhoods still face some serious crime issues. Petty theft? It's almost a rite of passage for some. Oh, that's just a Tuesday afternoon. Assaults? Unfortunately, they happen more often than you'd think. The city has its fair share of street fights and altercations. New Yorkers are resilient, but it's important to be aware, to be vigilant, and to always keep an eye on your surroundings. And to maybe, just maybe, invest in a good pair of running shoes. Because in this city, you never know when you might need to make a quick getaway. Chapter 4, New York City. A glorious tapestry of cultures, cuisines, and questionable smells. Overflowing trash cans, unidentifiable sticky substances on the sidewalk, and the faint whiff of urine that seems to permeate the air, especially in the summer. The air is a special kind of cocktail itself. It's like someone took the exhaust from every car, bus, and taxi in a 5-mile radius and said, "Here you go, breathe deep." But hey, on the bright side, at least you'll never have to worry about losing your sense of smell. Chapter 5. New York City is like that friend who's always on the go, always hustling, always achieving great things. It's a city that never stops moving, where the pace is relentless and the energy is palpable. From the early morning rush to the late night hustle, New Yorkers are always in motion. The city that never sleeps, more like the city that will judge you harshly for taking a mental health day. Anxiety, depression, and stress are almost as common as the yellow cabs. The pressure to keep up can be overwhelming. Burnout. These are not just buzzwords, they're practically initiation rites for becoming a true New Yorker. The constant grind can wear down even the most resilient souls. They're practically initiation rites for becoming a true New Yorker. Even the most ambitious, most driven New Yorker needs a break sometimes. It's essential to recognize when it's time to pause and recharge. Most driven New Yorker needs a break sometimes. Taking a moment to breathe, to step away from the chaos is not a sign of weakness but of strength. We need to step off the hamster wheel, silence the notifications, and find our own peace amidst the noise. It's about finding balance in a city that thrives on imbalance. And remember that there's more to life than making rent and chasing deadlines. It's about enjoying the little moments, the connections, and the experiences that make life in New York truly unique. Outro. So, there you have it. The good, the bad, and the just plain smelly. New York City is a city of contradictions. A place where dreams are made, but also where they're tested, challenged, and sometimes just plain crushed. So what's your take on the Big Apple? Love it, hate it, somewhere in between? Let us know in the comments below.